straight to the call, straight to the Zoom call. My dude Kafar Myers, straight out of Pennsylvania. Let's get it.
What's the word, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, King. How about yourself?
Ain't much, bro. Ain't can't complain. Listen, bro. I actually been watching you a lot, right? I'm gonna dive right into your shit, bro, because I've been watching your Instagram a lot and shit. And I mean, rap artist, poet, author, soulful of me, soulful of more, soulful special edition. I actually have listened. I have bumped your EP.
Yeah.
Um, and that shit's dope too. I got Fallback, Walk in War, and 10 Blocks as my top three tracks. You feel me?
Oh,
Um,
is it?
yeah,
Word.
yeah.
Okay.
Though I
Okay.
fuck with Walk in War the most, definitely the most. So so let's get
Right.
into you, man. Tell me about self privilege, bro. Tell me what's behind the brand, because like I said, rap artist, poet, author, clothing line,
Oh,
self privilege, EP, self privilege, right?
activist.
So
Yeah.
tell me
Community
more about it.
organizer. But yeah, right. So with self privilege, so the first, I wanted it to be something that speaks to everybody. Like no matter what path and what you choose to do in life. I wanted to be whether you want to be a teacher, whether you wanted to be a basketball player, whether you wanted to be a traveling agent. You know what I mean? I wanted something that speaks to everybody, no matter what. And I came up with self privilege, which means to find purpose in self. You know, that's what self privilege represents
Right.
because everybody is so focused and so attached to being what they see. But I really feel like it's a privilege to be true to who you are because not everybody is true to who they are.
Dope.
So I wanted something that went with everybody. Like I said, everybody in every level of entrepreneurship, from dealing with kids, from being a nurse, whatever the case may be. I wanted to just speak to everybody.
Right. The rap artist, the poet, the author, right? How did you what came first, right?
First was definitely the poet. The poet definitely
Word.
came first. When I first started writing, it was more so it just was words. I just had to write how I felt because you know I didn't really resonate with a lot of my peers. They didn't really see where I was coming from. They didn't really understand like my way of thinking. So I just had to write on a paper, just read it back to myself to kind of give me that warmth, just to give me that warmth. So the poet definitely came first, and then from the poetry, then came, you know what? I'm listening to Pac. I'm listening to Mary J. I'm listening
Okay.
to KRS One. I'm like, yo, this is what poetry is. Like this sounds like poetry just over a beat. I said, I think I could do this. And then from there, that's when the rapping came. So the poetry started, and the rap was the evolved form of the poetry.
Dope. So when you went from poetry into rapping, what like
Yeah.
is there, I mean, there's got to be some difference, feel me? Like what's the difference? Like you like, oh, this is just poetry with me. Now like is there a difference to the art of it, or
Well, not even to say that. Not even to say it's poetry with a beat, because poetry can still be done on the beat.
right?
Poetry to me, it's not really a difference between poetry and hip hop. I guess it's just the the tone. Maybe I think maybe it's the tone that separates poetry from hip hop, because poetry is like the little brother of hip hop. It's like the more like soft spoken or not as much as a threat, but hip hop is NWA. You know, you got that kind of stuff going on with hip hop. But in my opinion, it's not really much of a difference at all between the two. To me, they're exactly the same. I guess what separates them is maybe what you could get away with in poetry and what you can't get away with in hip hop. Determine on what kind of artist you are. Because no way Ice Cube or no way Lil Baby or the Baby is getting away with certain soft spoken poems that other poets talk about.
Okay.
So I guess it just, yeah.
So do you think it takes two different sets of talent to do both? Because that's fire to be able to do both. I guess poetry
Yeah.
can get hardcore too, though. You feel like
Definitely can. I mean, it definitely can when you got poets like the poet from Newark, New Jersey. I forgot his first name, but Baraka, I believe is his last name. Like poetry definitely gets serious, and you definitely hear the passion in their voice and the message that they're trying to say. Or even like one of my favorite artists, Gil Scott Heron from down in Detroit from like Motown era. He's doing poetry throughout his whole project. It's really poetry, James Brown poetry. I think Pac to me is poetry. To me, everything Pac raps is poetry. But that's me coming from a perspective of a poet. Now, if I wasn't a poet, I probably wouldn't say nothing that Pac or these guys are saying is poetry. As an outsider looking in, just a listener, I'm like, nah, this not poetry, this rap. But there is, like I said before, to me, there really isn't much of a difference between the two. I guess poetry is just perceived by the people as more soft spoken, more,
that
you
makes
know,
sense.
more conscious. You're
But
allowed to be more
from the artist's
conscious.
perspective, it's the same, no?
To me,
Right,
every
right. From the
artist is
artist's
different.
perspective, but
Somebody
for the
might
listener,
be
okay.
right,
So it's only really
right,
different for the listener. It's the same shit for the
right,
artist, right? Right. Okay. So it's not
right.
really like a two separate like talent pools. It's just like this is all one talent.
Nah, I feel like almost every rapper probably started with poetry.
Word.
I feel like almost every rapper started like rapper, conscious
Right. Right.
rapper that
Right.
speaks about making a bunch of hits started off with poetry. I'm pretty
Right.
sure that poetry was obliged in everybody's curriculum when they started before they started music.
You're doing a bunch of different things, right? You're from Pennsylvania, correct?
I'm originally from Jersey.
Uh
But right now I'm located in Pennsylvania.
okay. You have three published books, right?
Yes, I have Soul Full of Me, which was my first book I dropped when I was 19. My second book, Soul Full of More, I dropped when I was 20. And then I had the special edition, which dropped at the same time as Soul Full of More. Soul Full of More special edition.
So you hold on. So hold on. You how old are you right now?
I'm 21.
You're 21, bro. That's fucking crazy. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I didn't know that. That's the first time I'm asking you that, and no bullshit. I would think at least late 20s, right? At least late 20s. That's dope. I mean,
Appreciate
you're
it.
talking about you're 19, dropping your first book. A lot of people don't
Mad
even
I didn't
know
do it earlier.
what's up.
I'm mad I didn't do it earlier. I said I'm mad I didn't do it earlier.
Really? So you think you definitely had it in you to do it earlier. What so where at what point in you was you like when was that like your oh shit moment? Like was like, oh shit, I gotta put all these poems together in a book. Like did you already have the poems written and you just threw them together? Or did you write if there was that book like all one idea?
Nah, I definitely had a bunch of poems laying around because, like I said, I've been writing since I was like in seventh, eighth, ninth grade. I've been writing. Not saying I was writing every day, but I had poems. I just was writing just how I felt at the moment and just would leave it there and just look back at it, reflect on it. And then around, I think I dropped my book 2018. It's one of them. And then I seen, I seen Milk and Honey. I seen Milk and Honey, the book. I forgot the author, but everybody knows that it's a popular poetry book. She talks about a lot of things. I seen Milk and Honey, and I was like, because I didn't really know about too many poetry books at the time. I just was reading novels. I was reading novels at the time, so I never read a poetry book. This is my first time reading a friend of mine was showing me this poetry book. I'm like, wow, like I could have my own twist on this. I can have my own twist just from my perspective, from who I am, you know. And then from there, I was like, you know what? Okay, I already got at least 50 poems stashed, or I already have 50, but I already have enough for a book. But let me come up to where I'm at right now and try to incorporate some of that into the book as well. I don't want it to be all old high school thoughts and high school feelings. Like I want it to be a lot of where I'm at right now in my life. So then from there, I was like, this is what's going to separate me from other rappers as well. I don't want to just be a rapper. Because nowadays, when you tell people you rap, they look at you like, oh, all right, that's cool. Like,
I
oh,
think
okay,
that's it right
that's
there. That's it
cool.
right there. I don't want to be just a rapper, right?
Yeah.
And your EP, which is called Self Privilege, that's out on all platforms, right?
All major streaming platforms. Yep. The Self Privilege EP, I dropped that December 13th of 2019. So it's about to make a year this December. This December, I
so
believe, is about to
as
make.
you're working on a book, you're in the fucking stew working on a damn album too, or EP. Sorry, that's dope, bro.
Yeah.
I respect that because there's not many 19, 20, 21 year olds. All right now, I'm sure you like to have your fun too, but every 21-year-old is more focused on fucking partying and
Let me tell you something. So I dropped. I threw an event. I throw self privilege showcases. That's something I do for the local area. Um, to provide a platform for artists to bring awareness for what's going on and just to further bring a community for vendors, entrepreneurs, and artists. So I had my self privilege showcase event number 2 sold out November 23rd, and that was also my book release event as well. So I tied the two in, came out with some merchandise for the book. My EP was supposed to drop as well. They was both supposed to drop at the same time, and it'd be like an exclusive event for what was already going in place. It was supposed to be like a special moment, which it still was because of the book. But due to I didn't know how certain music platforms work, you got to upload it like way in advance. You know what I mean? So actually, all of it was supposed to drop at the same time. The book and the EP was supposed to drop at the same time. But it didn't happen that way. The EP dropped a month later, but it's still tied in good for me and for all those that supporting.
have you thought about throwing your book on like Audible or something like that, like reading your own poetry so people can hear it in, like from your voice.
Yo, that's crazy because I got 3 different things I'm doing with that right now. I'm
Word.
gonna say because I'm gonna release it pretty soon, so you got to drop out of me. So it's amazing that you
my
said
bad
that.
my
I
bad
actually
if I'm
have the whole. No, you're fine. Cause I had to promote it sooner or later, and why not here? That's
right.
amazing. So, and that's just confirmation for me to do it. That's just how I look at it. I feel like you saying that was just confirmation to go ahead and do it. So, I have a live reading, visual, recordings for. It's gonna be called the Soulful of series. Live reading. I'm gonna be reading. I'm gonna bring my mic out, my interface, and in nice little environments, and um nice little settings. I'm going to be reading the poem straight out of the book, and then I'm also out of that as well. I'm also going to have sooner or later probably some of my favorite poems, or what the most poems that I've seen people reshare or take pictures of and post on social media. I will probably just do a record in my home studio. I'm in a home studio right now, the self-privileged office, and
Word, that's
from there I'm
really
going to
nice.
record. Yeah, the headquarters. And from there, I'm going to record, and I'm probably upload it on streaming platforms. Because I actually do have a poem already on streaming platforms. It's called "To the Girl That's in a Relationship." I have a visual for that as well that I didn't even drop yet. But that's 2 things that I'm working on right now. It's the Soulful of poetry series where I'm reading poems, and you can hear the birds tweet, you can hear the wind blow, you can hear the conversation. I
Dope.
might be at the basketball court.
Dope.
I might be at
That's
the
the life.
basketball court. You might be seeing people playing basketball in the background. I might be in the middle of the street in New York somewhere, and you see cars and people yelling and things like that, like live readings. And I'm also going to have readings in the home studio, just audio, no visual, just audio, you know?
Dope. Dope. Dope.
So that's definitely,
That's
yeah,
definitely some
that's definitely
confirmation, bro.
something that I got.
That's
That's
fire.
confirmation. That it's just crazy how life works, and. So that's definitely some confirmation.
If I knew you was already planning on that, I probably wouldn't have. I don't want. I don't know what you ready.
Right.
By the time this episode releases, I mean, you'll be probably running with that shit anyway. At the speed you move, fucking
100%.
3 books and shit. That's that's insane. That's insane.
Yeah, and I'm
But
and I'm and I'm recording it. I'm I'm recording it, mixing it, and editing it by myself. Like it just
dope,
it's me.
dope,
I
dope.
got my tripod. I invested in the camera. I set the tripod up and I read. I bring my interface, my desk, my book, all that out, and I just sit here on the computer and add a little bit of font and all of that wording to put in there and this, that, and the third.
That's dope. And give us the secret, man.
So all right. The secret is this: you got to have a deeply rooted why.
I love it. I love it.
Why? Why? What is making you chase your dreams. What is the reason? Like, what is it for? You want to be able to provide for your family? Is it that you just want to prove to yourself that you don't, you're not a failure? What is going to be your why, that even on days you feel sick, days you feel the world is against you, days you feel no one is supporting you, that's going to still make you wake up and do what you have to do? That's like the first, that's like the main ingredient, for at least for me. That's the main ingredient for me. Um, the second thing is just understanding, because often, because even with mixing and even with taking pictures and all that stuff, I get frustrated sometimes, because then I look at other people like, wow, this stuff is so good, my stuff isn't there. But then it's more important to not look at people's successful moments. Like if you're a photographer or you're an artist and you're looking at Basquiat or whoever the case may be, don't compare your stuff to theirs. It's more so compare your stuff to when they first started. Stop looking at their highlights and look at the stuff that they did when they first started. Like
I
Meek
love that.
Mill when he got his dreads. You know what I mean? Meek Mill, like look at that and compare where you're at to that. Don't
Right.
compare it to
Right.
these guys in the mansion and these guys in
Right.
5 or 6
Nobody, hey,
cars. You're not
nobody sees the fucking the sweat, the grind. You know what I mean? Nobody watches that. They just see you up in the mansion, and then what happens is like they
yeah,
end up getting discouraged and shit because now
right.
what they're looking at seems so unattainable, bro. Like it just seems like it's so
Mm-hmm.
impossible because I mean, if you're starting from nothing, bro, if you're starting from nothing, truly nothing, bro, a mansion in $10 million is it looks impossible. It looks
A
like the
lot.
biggest wall. You feel me? But because you're looking
Mm-hmm.
at and you're looking at these people you want to be like or whatever, and or you aspire or that just your inspiration or whatever the case may be, and they're like up here, but you're 21, for example. You're not looking at I'm just gonna throw out a random fucking name. You're not looking at
Right.
Jay Z, and you're like, oh, why am I not where he's at? You're looking at Jay when Jay was 19.
Right.
What was Jay doing when he was 19, right? You know what I mean? What was Kanye doing when he was 19? You feel me? Like, and these
Right.
guys that are like highly successful, bro. And if you were to just look at them, like you're like, nah, that's fucking impossible. These guys are superheroes. Like these guys are like, and these guys are like fucking fake. You know what I mean? They're fake. Like they don't even exist in some people's world. So I think that's
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah. 100%. And another thing is as well is you got to make sure that you're doing it for you, as well. Like I said, the whole why thing, but you also got to make sure that you're making music as well for you. Like, yeah, it could be the money and da da da, but you have to be okay with the content. You have to be okay with what you're doing. So if anybody say that they don't like it, or hey yo, we don't want to sign you, or we don't want to pick you up as a model, it's like, well, I like the stuff that I did. I'm very proud of the stuff that I did, and you can't take that away from me. Because sometimes you do things for other people or for other people's opinions, and it's like you become jaded. You kind of lose sight on what it is that you're trying to achieve. But if you like it, it's a plus. If the other people like it as well, it's like a plus. Like, wow, you really like what I did, like, wow. But if
Word.
now they don't like it, you know what I mean? Like now it's like, oh, if you don't like it, it's like, okay, I appreciate you giving me your opinion, but I love what I did, and I'm
Right. I
very
love that
proud that
shit.
I took people to write this.
That's dope. And I think more than anything, I feel like remaining yourself in every situation, right, is always like more important in than anything else. And in the long run, being yourself is always more profitable than fucking pretending to be someone or something that you're not. Always.
100, 100%, 100%. And I ain't gonna lie, like, and it just feels better when you reach a certain point of success, knowing that like I didn't have to um um stoop myself down to a lower level or whatever the case may be. Like me believing in me is what got me here. Like what Kanye said, could I use my arrogance as a self-esteem to power my dreams? It's kind of like that. I'm not gonna say arrogance, but as a term of it's a mixture between delusion, um, um, a little like hard headed, but also love for you and the work that love for you and the work that you're putting in. You know what I mean? Because I feel like when anybody that's doing anything, you kind of got to have a delusional factor of my thing gonna be the biggest podcast in the world. My thing, I'm gonna be the biggest artist in the world. I'm gonna be up there with Polo. That's delusional.
Right.
That's
Right.
that.
Yo,
Some people's gonna consider that. Some people's gonna consider that delusional. Like, hey, yo, this guy's crazy. Like, you don't even have what Polo has. It's like, okay, so now you got to be a little stubborn on that because like you're not listening to what he's saying. You're like, okay. Then the factor of you having as much love and as much confidence in yourself to be like, all right, it's not even about me trying to show you or prove you wrong. It's just, I'm going to prove you wrong. It's not even, I'm going to prove you wrong. You know what I mean? So
that
it's
that's
certain little
you
things
dropping
that
some
man,
motherfucking golden nuggets here for people talking.
gotta clap one time. Gotta clap one time.
Right.
Definitely.
Uh, um,
Definitely. You know, I just want people to really get something out of this. And I feel like Nip said, the highest, well, Nip got it from a book, but the highest act of life is to inspire and educate. I just feel like, what's the point of having a certain span of knowledge or a certain span of experience
right.
and not sharing it with? Because right now I'm in a process. I don't want to speak too much on it, but I'm actually in a process of getting a YMCA center built around where I'm at. But that's
Fire.
a whole
Fire.
different. Yeah.
Shit.
You know what I mean?
My guy, man. You and that's you doing that in Pennsylvania? And what city you in
Yeah,
Pennsylvania?
down here. I'm in Tobyhanna.
Okay. And you in
The Polk.
now, damn man, you just opened up a can of worms. We're gonna leave it though. We're gonna leave it. And you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna come back in like a few months or a year or some shit and run another episode.
Yeah.
And we gonna see what
Yeah. Hey,
Kafar Myers
then
is
it's
at.
gonna be a so. By then it's gonna be a So Privileged Academy. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot of dope things. I'm working on the So Privileged Academy and So Privileged University, where like a mentorship program or something above those lines, where I get, for example, you're doing a podcast. For those younger people or even people that's 40, whatever case may be, they don't know where to start. Hey, I got somebody that does this. I got somebody that cuts hair. I got somebody that plays football. I got somebody that does engineering. Because a lot of times we don't do things because we never seen the other side. So we don't even
Right.
try it. We like, man, I don't want to pick up no camera, man. I'm just going to go do this. Because you
Right.
don't know.
Right.
Nobody introduced you to that world. And I feel that that's very important. You know what I mean? So while I'm here, I don't believe I'm wasting. I don't believe I'm wasting my life. But while I'm here, it's like I still have a lot more to do before God takes me out of here.
Fire. And I agree with that. I feel like as like the young adults of the world, like we have a responsibility to fucking we need to teach the youth. You know what I mean? The youth, this information, right? This simple conversation we're having. This conversation when I was in high school wasn't even like in my imagination. You feel me?
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like, and
right.
there's so many people like that. I was 15, 16 years old. And as a 15,
Man.
16-year-old, I would love to watch something like fucking Kafar Myers talk about being 20, 21 years old, publishing 3 books. And like, you don't see that, bro.
Right.
So dope, bro. That's dope, bro.
And the crazy thing is, bro, I don't really like laugh or smile or appreciate it as much until like someone brings it to my attention. Like until like you bring it to attention, like, yo, you're 21 with 3 published books, an EP, you did Coat Drive, you did this, like you did, you rent out venues and throw events for local artists and supply them like possible free studio time and da 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 da. And in my mind, I'm just so like, all right, what's next? Da 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 da. That it don't really hit me until somebody like brings up like, yo, you did this or you did that, and I'm like, and like you're right. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a gift and a curse. It's a gift and a curse kind of feeling because you don't really get.
You think that's because you so laser focused? I feel like you laser focused, bro. You doing a lot. You doing a lot, bro. You doing a lot. A
And
lot of
that's
people your age can't handle half the shit you doing.
and it's crazy to say that because every day I wake up, I feel like I don't do enough, and that's what's
Wow.
scary.
Wow.
That like when you say that, like when people say
Yo,
that
you
to
know
me,
what's
like I
crazy?
have.
Hold on, I gotta cut you off right there, bro. When you said that, bro, dead ass, no bullshit. I'm being completely honest with you. I just got the chills. Like I got the chills. Like that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I'm not even playing. I got the
Bro,
chills.
I wake up, bro. I swear, I wake up. I'm like, bro, I didn't. It's not enough. Like, I'm trying to teach myself how to play piano. Like I said, I'm working on a couple short films for some scripts that I wrote, and some people's gonna take it as like, this guy doesn't know what he wants to do. Or it's like jack of all trades kind of thing. But my answer to that is, how is it me different? How is me learning how to work a camera? How is me learning how to play the piano? How is me learning, even for someone that wants to learn how to fix cars? How is that different from me working a job, learning their system, working 5 days a week, 8 hours, 9, or even 12 hours a week? How is that any different?
Right.
What's the difference? There is no,
There is none. Right.
there's no difference. There's no difference for me wanting to learn how to work a camera and then use that as a side hustle
Right.
compared to me applying for a job and working 8 hours, 5 days a week, learning how to do that job.
See, you
There's
you
no
21
difference.
years old and you talking ownership. You talking doing for yourself. You talking things that
Right.
skills that you can keep forever and you
Monetize.
make money for yourself. You feel me? And create wealth for yourself.
Right. Especially for like an artist, as an independent artist, you're paying for so much. You're paying you're paying for studio time. You're paying for beats, you're paying for cover art, you're paying for videos, you're paying for photo shoots, you're paying for promo. It's like, all right, you gotta find a way. It's up to you and how hard you're gonna work. But I just believe in really being in control of your content and you're not having to wait. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like if your pictures is trash, then like invest in a photographer. You know what I mean? I'm not saying like, but what I'm saying is there's nothing wrong with you learning how to do it, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying put out bad quality. That's not what I'm saying. But if you feel the quality is good and is decent to you, I don't see nothing wrong with you putting that stuff out and doing it for yourself.
Right,
You
right,
know?
right, right. I love that. But your words can help anybody in any industry. What you're doing right now at your age is,
Right.
bro, is when I
Yeah.
tell you I admire it like crazy, bro. I do. Like, bro,
Thanks.
and you're 21.
Love.
I'm trying to think what the hell was
Yeah.
I doing at 21? Besides the military, I had just got out the military. I had started from 21 to 25, I had 4 failed companies. Um,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, I had 4 failed companies. You're 2021. I want to know, like, was there a moment, right? Was there a moment that, like, was there ever a moment that you was like, you wanted to stop doing what you're doing, like, because you're doing a lot, and for some people, for a lot of people, it's overwhelming. So, like, was there ever a time like you was like, fuck this, like, I'm trying to do, or this is just like this is just you, like,
Yeah, nah, it's never been a time since I first started rapping. There's never been a time where I was like, I want to stop rapping. Like I don't see because like I said, my music for me is like the platform. It's to further expand. It's to get people to believe in me, to hear my message, to see what I'm about. It's for them to invest in me, whether it's just for them to listen, whether it's to help enlighten mind states, whether it's to, help teach confidence, help teach self belief. So I understood I can't. There's no way because once you stop and you start again, I just feel like nobody's gonna really like take you serious. Like, he did it before.
right,
He wanted that before he stopped. And I know what I'm aiming to do, what's in my mind, the person that I see myself in 5 years. I can't. Like there's it is no turning back because the purpose that I choose, well, hoping that God gave me, I don't know if it's a self-proclaimed purpose, but what I feel in my spirit is like it's not just for me. No, it's not just for me. It's to help provide resources for younger people to help show other people like, hey, you can do it because I did it too. I'm in the
bro.
Poconos.
You're
You know,
like the only 21-year-old I know talking about giving back. You feel me? That's fucking dope, bro. And that's just gonna come full circle.
and exactly. And the one thing that I highly believe in is that you can't You can't receive when your hand is closed. You can't receive. Your hand always has to be open. Therefore, you always have to give for you to receive. And that's one of my ways of life. Somebody could tell you different, but I have a certain guideline that I live my life by, and that's one of my things. In order for you to get, you have to give. You know what I mean? In order for you to receive, you have to give. And if you want a community to support you, you have to build one. Just because you rap, don't mean people is obligated to support you. Like, what are you
Right.
doing for the community? What are you doing for them?
Right.
You
Right.
know?
Right. You know what so like as far as like so you said you're in Pennsylvania right now, and you do a lot for the community. I know you said that. What's some other than the
I
community
do.
center?
I do. I need to do more. I do a good amount, but I need to do more.
I respect it. I respect it. What's some other than I know you don't want to dive too much into the community center thing, but what so we'll stay away from that. But what's some things that you've done or that you're in the middle of doing other than the community center
Right.
for your
Right.
community?
Right. So, like I said, one thing I've done was the coat drive. And one thing about me is I'm very impulsive, which can be a downfall, but it's also a pro because I'm that type of person where like if I have an idea or I think about something, I'm not gonna wait like 5 months to do it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start it this week. I have to because I try to fight my fear. Whatever I'm afraid of, like whether I'm afraid of like the failure, like, all right, I want to do a coat drive. Damn, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to provide coats for all these people. Ah, I smell fear. Go and fight it now. Fight your resistance. Fight it. And it feels good every time I overcome it. It's like, it's like when you get on a roller coaster, you scared, but you get on it, it's over. You like, that's it. Like,
Right, right. Let's get on that shit again.
yeah, let's go on it again. So I definitely the coat drive, I did that last year around this time. I was able to provide close to 90 coats for 8 families.
That's dope.
Like 90 coats for 8 families. And we did that within 3 weeks. Like I
Dope,
said, I'm
dope.
very impulsive. I'm very impulsive. Like sometimes I don't even like extremely plan it in its fullest extent. I just go with this gut instinct that I got, and it hasn't failed me yet. It hasn't failed me.
And
So that's
you
one
know
thing
what?
I've
I
done
don't
to coach.
think in the long run, I don't think being impulsive will ever fail you. You being impulsive
Mm,
might have failures, you know what I mean? But in the long run, I don't
yeah.
think you will fail being impulsive, right? I don't think you
Mm,
ever fail
mm,
when you're like you're one of the people that's like, all right, I'm gonna do this. That's it, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean?
right,
Even and if
right,
it's a bad decision, it's a
right,
bad decision. You know what I mean? But so you might fail at that decision, but like in the long run, you're gonna have more successes do it with that. I feel like
right,
with that type of attack versus
right,
being timid about your approach to certain things and I
right.
think I think that's pretty dope.
Appreciate that. So then the other thing that I do, like I said, well, with COVID right now, I can't do it, but this is a good segue into what I'm about to do for artists. So check this out. But the first thing I did, like I said, was a self-privilege showcase where I'll charge artists a submission fee. I'll rent out a venue, but I'll let the crowd choose who had the best performance. From there, I provide a free video shoot, plus free studio time, plus whatever. You know what I mean? It's something beneficial for the artist.
Right.
And it sold out twice. I did it twice so far. Sold out twice of a crowd max capacity of like 125 people. And that's another thing I do. So now with COVID, we got to adapt to the times. I'm actually just partnered up with a radio show on iHeartRadio. And I'm going to have artists submit their music to me or to the people at iHeartRadio. And from there, at the first Friday of every month. So it's an all month thing. It's an all month thing. Artists can submit their music all month. I think it's one song for $15, 2 songs for $20, 3 songs for $30. You know what I mean? You can submit your songs to my email. You go to selfprivilege.com. You could go on my Instagram at Kafar_Myers. And from there, you know, we're taking songs all month. And at the first Friday of each month is when we'll listen. We'll go on live, listen, choose a winner. This time I got them on board. It's free radio. First prize is free radio play for a whole week
Wow.
on iHeart Radio. You know what I mean? And some people and some of my peers say, "Hey, Kafar, you do too much. Like you do too much for the artist. Like they don't. Do you feel as though they give you your credit? Like do you feel as though they give you your flowers? You know, you do a lot for this area that people overlook or whatever the case may be."
Even
But
if
I'm
they
like,
don't, the world will.
exactly. It's like it's not about that. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. It feel good to hear, yo, we
Of
thank you. It
course.
feel good. It feel good when I'm doing those events and artists' parents or family members come to me like, hey, this is my child's first time performing. Thank you so much for putting this together. And I'm looking at them like I'm the same age as your kid. Like I'm the same age as your kid. Like me and your kid went to school together. You know what I mean? I'm not older. Don't let the facial hair fool you. I'm not. You know what I mean? So yeah. So it's just an amazing thing. It's not just about like being seen. It's not really about being seen. It feels good. It feels good for the ego, but when you realize it's not about the ego, and ego is a, it's just something. It's just something that's really non-existent. Like it's to help further our people. It's to help further our culture. You know, like let me if I can inspire somebody and help them get that confidence. Like wow, he thought my song was good enough, and now it's on the radio. That starts somebody's whole career. It's not just about me. It's not just about you. You know what I mean? And like I said, it's dope that you have me on this platform. You could have not had me, but hey, he's not big enough for it. Whatever. You could have been going trying
Right.
to find the big people, but hey, da 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 da. But you didn't do that. And somewhere deep inside my core, my spirit, I'm like, this is motivation and confirmation for me. Like, hey, this is a sign to keep going, keep doing what you're doing because look, somebody noticed you.
Important to note, like a whole nother state, bro. And I didn't even know you, bro. I'm from a hole in the wall, bro.
Right,
And
right,
you're over there
right,
you're over there doing work, bro. You're doing work like
right.
that. What you're doing, bro. Yo, no bullshit. Like I'm not gonna stop saying what you're
I
doing is
appreciate.
fire.
Thank you. I like it. It give me like it give me chills. You talking about you getting chills. That give me chills when I hear that because just not to branch off, not to get too far sidetracked off what you asked me about what I'm doing for the community. So that's that the self privilege showcase, and now I'm doing the virtual self privilege showcase where artists can submit their songs, and you get three free beats from a producer that I'm very cool with that produced a bunch of my singles and produced a lot of songs that's unreleased. You get three free beats. You get um a whole week of airplay on iHeartRadio. You could get a feature from me, and you could get a self privilege hat or a poetry book for me as well for the first place. And we got second and third place prizes as well. So that's just a brief thing of what I'm doing right now. I'm looking for more to do. I'm actually There's a performing arts school around here, and I got a meeting with them soon to see what else that we can do. Because I want to do things for entrepreneurs, for vendors. I want vendors to be able to come out like a flea market kind of thing. You know what I mean? And just be outside all day, networking, selling their clothes to people that's driving by like a yard sale. When you see a yard sale, you stop because you see all these people selling stuff. You stop, you park up, you come out, buy products, da 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 da. So that's some things that I'm working on as well to partner up with this performing arts school, see if I could run a class, see if I could provide certain opportunities for kids that's less fortunate that can't even afford to be at this performing arts school. So I can't speak too much, but I'm definitely speaking into existence that the meeting with them is going to go well. Next time we talk is it's
Word.
gonna be a lot of more things with
When you do that,
more.
that flea market thing, that like style thing you're talking about, you're gonna have to give me the
Yeah,
drop on that. I might take a flight out there with my team and catch
yeah, and
some footage of you doing your thing
mm-hmm,
and make a shit. We make an episode out of
appreciate it.
that too. That's dope.
Yeah,
That's
and
dope.
the goal is gonna be to do that once a week, like every Friday. Vendors come out. Vendors, no matter where you're from. You from New York, wherever you just want to come out. You can set up your table, sell your merchandise, network, meet new people. That's what it's all about. Because artists don't understand. I feel like a lot of artists are gimme, gimme, gimme. Hey yo, I rap. Listen to me.
And you know what?
That's it. It's
That's
like
why a lot of local artists stay local artists because they all have, bro. Especially I don't know how the industry is for local artists in your city, and I'm shit. I would imagine it's booming because of you, because of the things you're doing and shit. Bro, as far as I'm aware, and I
yeah.
could be wrong, there's nobody doing things like that for artists out here in my community. You know what I mean? I could be wrong. I do know, you know, I have a friend, you know, him and he has a radio, inside the maze radio station. They work with local artists a lot. But
Mhm.
like other than that, like I don't see it too often. You know what I mean? And what I see
I
more
agree.
than anything is local. Exactly what you said. That gimme, gimme, gimme. All local. These local artists, and every like they just want to step on the artist next to them. You know what I mean? They want to step on the artist in front of them. They
Right,
want to step on the artist below them and above
right,
them. Like it just doesn't make any sense here.
right, right. So that's one approach that I don't take. To eat, like I said, like I always say to everybody, to each his own. That's not where I'm at. That's not where my spirit is inclined and where my chakras are aligned at. That's not where I'm at with it. I don't mind, like, if someone was to say that they better than me, I'm like, okay, bro, like that's how you feel. Like you're supposed to feel like that. Like, what you want me to do? Knock you down? You want me to say no? You and I'm like, okay, that's fine. Because it's not about to, like I said, to me, it's not just about rap. It's not just I love music. I love music. Music is my world, but it's not just about music. It's about providing. It's about influence. It's about teaching. It's about aiding. It's about nurturing. So it's not just about who can make the best song. That's not what I signed up for. That's not what I'm in it for.
Word.
Somebody else, that's fine. That's their own intent. I'm not knocking nobody. That's fine. But my goal, where I plan on being in 5 years, and where I plan on accomplishing by the time I'm 40 or 35 years old, has nothing to do with if I have the best song. It has nothing to do with that, bro. It has nothing to do with that. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna have my platinum plaques. Don't get me wrong, because I'm just a
Ah,
good
I love it.
songwriter.
Of course. Yep.
I'm gonna
Eh,
have my platinum plaques because I feel as though I make amazing songs and I have amazing content. I have something
for
to say. I'm
sure.
gonna have
For
my
sure.
plaques. I'm gonna have my
I
awards.
drive and I listen to your EP. When I tell you I've bumped every song in that EP.
And what song you said was your favorite?
It was Walking War. I got Walking War. I got 10 blocks that I fuck with, and I got Fall Back. But Walking War.
Yo, go ahead, go ahead.
Now I was just say Walking War. I've bumped a lot. Like I've bumped a lot.
And Walking Wars. And the crazy thing is, because I got a song called Hopeless. I thought Hopeless were gonna surpass every song on the EP. When I structured that EP, 10 Blocks is my personal favorite song. It makes me so happy that you love that song, because that song, I'm not gonna say it goes overlooked, but it goes overlooked. Like I made
Word.
that, and that's what I'm saying. I made that song for me. I don't care if that song got one view. I don't care if it got one view. That song it was for me. I made that for me. You know what I mean? I had to hear that on wax. I had to hear that on audio, because it's real. Like it's
Right.
the emotion in that song, and the content behind it, and what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? As me being, I guess, the one that kind of kept their head on straight, as the one that was told they was going to be amazing and do great things, compared to as my homie, he's in a more tighter dilemma than me. He didn't have a certain support system like I did. He didn't have a certain foundation like I did. So he resorted to what got him through life, what was able to make him money, which was being in the streets. And now he has a kid, and he has to provide for this kid, whether that's stealing a bike, whether that's, breaking in houses, whether that's whatever the case may be. And now I kind of got the survivor's guilt, or chosen guilt, whatever you want. God, I don't know which blessing
Right.
guilt. That's like, wow, I don't even know what to talk about when I'm around this person. Like, I don't want to say, look at me on the billboard. I got a billboard. I had a billboard in Times Square.
Yep.
Do
I
I
seen
bring that
that. I
up?
seen that. We'll throw that up too. We'll throw that up.
I'm like, do I bring that up when he's struggling and he has a kid, and his apartment is roaches and rats around where he stay, and he's in the streets? Like, what do I talk about? How do I? And then now he's telling me that he admires me. You know what I mean? Like, he admires me, and every time that I drop, or every time that I succeed or do an amazing accolade, it gives him hope, bro. And then it's like it's like I
I
said, it's
can't even
bigger than
imagine what
music.
that feels
It's
like
bigger
at
than
21.
bro. No, but this been a feeling for me since I was 14, 15 years old. Like, this kind of feeling of like people looking up to me, and me being a role model. Like, when I was in fifth grade, I was teaching kindergartners, special ed. I was in class with special ed kindergartners, reading stories to them and doing homework with them.
So this been in your blood.
You know, to a degree, yeah. You know, like yeah, to a degree, yes, it has. And you know, I shout out my grandma.
Kafar
I
been
shout out my
doing too
grandma so
much.
much.
This shit's in your blood,
I
man. I love
shouted
it.
out to my grandma. I shout out to my grandma because, you know, at a young age, she instilled in my mind that you can do anything you put your mind to. And I don't know how innocent that was when she was saying it to me. And me just, I'm not going to even say that that like I was thinking about it like that, because I just wanted to be a basketball player when I was growing up. But I guess over time, like just hearing that over and over, it played something it did something to me in my subconscious. It did something. It bred something in me, whether she knew it or not. You know, when she was saying that to me, whether she just was saying it to be a grandma, you know, to be nice, like, you know,
Right.
just to be supportive. But it played a major. So now maybe if I was hearing from everybody around me, like, yo, you would never be this, you would never be that, maybe I don't know how life will play out for me. I don't know if I still would be doing the same thing. I'm not in that. I don't know. But I do know that when I got a certain age, I wasn't looking for people's validation no more though. So I didn't care what anybody said, because people that didn't think I was going to get where I was at today. You know, nobody was going to think like, hey, I'm on a podcast. Like, no. When I was making music in 10th grade and people were saying I was off beat, some, you know, you got pros and cons. You got people that support you and some that don't. And when those that wasn't supporting me, you know, I could have listened and stopped. But I knew deep inside me, like, yo, it's okay. Like, it's all right. At least I'm trying. Like, these guys not even trying nothing. They not, it's okay. You're going to get better. Like, no one is a pro when they first start at the beginning. And that's what everybody got to understand. You're not going to be a pro when you first do it. It takes, you at least got to put time in every day. And you got to understand, for the results that you want, does your habits and discipline daily match what you seek? You know? So I think a lot of times we got expectations on where we want to be, what we want to do, and what we want to achieve. But is our actions daily and our habits and methods and disciplines, is that adding up to the vision that you have for yourself? You know what I mean? In other words, if you want to go to the, if you want to be if you want to be 180 pounds all muscle, are you working out every day to do that? You
Right.
know what I mean? Are you working every
Right.
day to do that? If not, then why do you expect that to happen? Like, what in your mind thinks that that's logical, that that's going to happen for you? Are you putting in those habits and that disciplinary ethics to get you there? You know?
Right. 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 You're you're a beast, dude. So
Appreciate.
talk to like, you have a 18-year-old kid um that aspires to do music, and he wants to be an artist. And what at 18 years old, what do you think it's important that coming into the industry, that whether it be about your mindset, be about the industry, be about whatever, right? What is
Yeah.
important for someone that wants to get in the industry and is not in it yet, or they're thinking about it, they just want to do, what do they need to know? What, in your opinion, um, what's the best way to approach coming into the industry? What do they need to know?
You need to figure out who and what you're making music for. I feel like that's the first and most important thing. What is your message? What are you trying to preach? If you just want to be um a a party artist, then that's fine. I'm not knocking any kind of music. I'm not knocking any of that. If you want to be, you know, just talking about how many girls you get and how many cars you drive, that's fine. But find find what is your message in your music and what do you want to represent? I feel like that's important, because once you find what you represent and what you want to embody, that helps you find your sound. You know, once you find your sound, can't nobody really tell you who you are as an artist. You know, because you know, like you found who, and it takes time. But that's when self privilege and becoming true to self comes into play, because yeah, you can, you know, somebody could tell you, yo, you need to make songs like da 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 da, and talk about all these girls and how you get them. It's like, but now you don't face a dilemma and a compromise. Like, dang, should I do that? Like, I don't know. You don't. It saves you in the long end. You don't have a compromise of well, you don't have a breakdown of what it is for you. What do you want to talk about? What should you talk about? Because now it's real. It's about you. How can you not talk about you? How
Right,
can you
right,
talk about what's on your mind? How can you not talk about what you represent? How can you fail to be you? And a lot of times people think, artists think that, it's not cool, but they don't understand it's too many people in this world, and you're not the only one that's like you. You're not the only one that likes skateboards. You're not the only one that likes Naruto. You're not the only one that likes chilling with your family. You're not like it's a million. It's just that everybody is following this one blueprint. So that's what seems cool. But when you have Pharrell coming out with skateboards, it made a whole Kid Cudi, Tyler the Creator. It made a whole nother tree.
right,
It's a whole nother tree from outside of gangster rap, outside of the Snoops, outside of the Jay-Z's, the cool Jay-Z's, outside, like
right.
it's a whole different lane because they were true with themselves, and they knew what they wanted to embody and what they wanted to represent and what they wanted to preach to the world. So I think that's something that I would highly recommend for artists, and just understand, don't focus on the don't focus on the don't focus on the how, because the how always kills dreams. When you say you want to be a basketball player, well, how do you plan on doing that? I don't even know. You're right. I don't even want to do it.
Word.
Don't focus on that. That's another thing. And the last thing I'm gonna leave. The last thing I'm gonna leave with is, well, leave it on this what I got for artists is focus on the what. Don't focus on the when. You're gonna get disappointed every time. Cause I ain't gonna lie. Like looking back at it, when I was like 19, 18, 19, when I made my book, I was like, man, I'm supposed to be on Ellen. I'm 19 with a book. Ellen's supposed to find me. I want to be on Ellen. I want to. But then looking back at it now, like, was I ready for it? Probably. But like, I'm like, dang, I want Ellen to highlight this version of me now.
Right,
So it's just about focusing on the what, like what you plan to achieve, what you plan to do, what you plan to become. And don't really focus too much on when it's supposed to happen, because you're gonna create anxiety. You can be like, man, I was supposed to have a record deal by da 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 da. And sometimes God got different plans, and things just don't work like that. You probably wasn't ready. You know what I mean? You probably didn't know enough information. They probably was gonna take all everything. You left with like 5% because you're so young and so anxious. You know.
word, word. Now I have a question for you, right? At
Mm-hmm.
some point before we get out of here, bro, before we get out of here, at some point before we close this out, you got to grab one of them books behind you and just read and just give us one something in there. Or
I got one right here. This is the
bet
special edition. This special edition right
you
here.
got to give us one before we go. And that's the special sofa of more special edition. You have the sofa of
Special.
me, and then you have the sofa of more um regular, and you can find those all on what
Selfprivilege.com.
selfprivilege.com.
selfprivileg.com. Or you can go on Amazon.com, or you can go on BarnesandNobles.com.
I know some people that are interested in writing a book, and uh, if not have already started, but and it might differ between, I guess, where you live. Things might be different between
Okay.
on regulation and stuff like that. But what's the first, besides obviously having the book written, but what's the first step in going about publishing your book?
Well, I did mine self-publishing. I don't
Okay.
have like
Okay.
I didn't look. I just wanted to get my book out. I wasn't really worried about it being picked up by a big company. I wasn't, because little backstory. I was selling my books out my car. Like I would go to vendor events. I was stopping at barbershops. I was going to local uh vegetable markets. Like even to this day, sometimes, um, especially right now,
The
because
best way to do it.
yeah, especially right now, I've been finding little events that I could come set up, sell my books. So I wasn't really worried about the big corporations picking up on my book, because I know it's gonna happen sooner or later. At least in my mind, it's gonna happen. Whether it's gonna happen. So the main thing for me just was really getting getting the book written, like having it typed up. because it wasn't that hard of a process for me. At least for me, for me, it wasn't that hard of a process. People like when I started telling people I made a book, they was like, "Wow, you really made a book?" I'm like, it's not hard. At least for me, I made a poetry book, so I just had to type it up, structure how I wanted it to, wrote my foreword, put the pictures of me that I wanted in, got the book cover, and it was really that simple. And then just found a platform, a self-publishing platform, uploaded the PDF file, got my book cover made by somebody, and I have a book. Like
Word.
in my mind, it wasn't that it wasn't that complex, in my mind. Like I'm good with writing, and in my book, I made it. It's my book, so I don't have certain parentheses or certain commas or there. Like I use it as one way. I put THERE for there, no matter which way I was like referring to.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because it's my book now. Somebody could say, yeah, you got to be grammatically correct, but it's my book.
Right. At the end of the day, it's my book. Right.
My book. Now I understand. I don't want to come off as ignorant or anything like that. Like I don't want to come off as like because I take heed. And that's another thing that got me to where I'm at today. Like it's definitely important. Oh yeah, and to rewind, that's definitely something I would recommend to artists is find a mentor. It's important to find a mentor in anything, whether you're real estate, DJing. Look for a mentor. Find a mentor. Like they're gonna help you dodge all of the pitfalls that you might do by yourself. So it's definitely important to have a mentor. So I don't want to come off as just to fast forward now. I don't want to come off as ignorant or anything like that because I have mentors. I have conversations with a lot of people and I take heed. But in my mind, it was just more convenient to have there that way, and I had it structured a certain way. You don't see too many like commas or things like that. But it's a great read, and the structure, to my eyes, it looks appealing. So in terms of what to tell self-published authors or people that's looking to do a book, is just once you have the book written, the blueprint of like what's there, and you have it all typed up and reread and revised, the hardest part is over. The hardest part is over because that takes time to sit down. It takes time. Once you read it, then that's everything else is easy, at least to me.
Word. And I got one of my last questions to you is about I want you to I want you to personally challenge everyone watching this that's going to tune into this episode to get out and do and shit. I feel like tomorrow I gotta go and do more for my community. You feel me? I feel like no bullshit, and I swear to God, I'm being genuine with you. You feel me?
I appreciate it, bro. It mean the world to me to hear that. You don't understand. That's
like I want to finish this episode and go run 10 miles, bro. Like I just want to go now, bro. Like so so I think a lot of you said a lot of good information in here, and
thank you.
There's a lot of good things for people to watch and pick up on, especially people that's looking to, that's in the music industry, that's looking to write a book, that's looking to do more for the community, and then just people that's looking to, learn more and operate on a higher level.
Right.
And you definitely dropped some knowledge here, and the fact that I keep bringing up your age and shit, but like I feel like it's kind of discrediting you doing that. So like I'm not gonna do it anymore.
Go ahead. I don't take it as Go ahead.
Yeah. Nah. I mean, I know you don't take it as that, of course not. But I'm just saying, I feel like it kind of discredits you. Like, and like, okay, I'm doing that at 20. Like, yeah, I mean, like you're doing this at 20, you're doing this at 40. It's a hell of a feat, bro. What you're doing is dope. I definitely want to. I definitely want to. I want to link up with you. I want to take a flight down there. Maybe we can work on a project together.
That'd be amazing.
When you do that that market, you let me know.
Yeah, that's gonna be soon. It's definitely gonna be like springtime, depending with COVID and how the world what the world ends up doing. You know what I mean? You don't know. But
right.
I know with the wintertime, it's not gonna be. I don't know yet. With the wintertime, I might be able to do it inside. I might be able to do it inside with the wintertime, but it's definitely gonna be a thing. It's gonna be a thing.
Word. Well, either way, whenever it is, reach out to me. Let me know. I'll put it all over my platform, and if
Appreciate
possible,
that.
me and my team will come down. Me and my producer will come down, take a flight down there, and even if it's for just a day or two, we'll be down there and support that.
Right.
that being said, I do definitely want you to, if you don't mind, just grab something, anything out that book, and just give me one.
Okay, all right. So this is the special edition right here.
Word.
This go for $100. This
Okay.
this one this one it's 100 poems. It's about 10 poems you're able to fill in yourself. Where I
Oh, that's
write
fire.
something. So it's like today I walked in a room and seen you write what you write. You know what I mean? And then I had a bad dream of you write what you write. So um I
That's
have
dope.
that one. I have Soul Full of Me and I have Soul Full of More. Soul Full of More has 59 poems. Soul Full of Me has 63. And the Soul Full of More special edition has 100. And I'm working on a new one. I just don't know what I'm gonna call it yet, but I'm working on a new one. Should be dropping maybe January or maybe March. I'm not sure yet, but I'm definitely
Okay.
working on a new one.
Okay.
But this poem right here is called Senior Year. It's one of my favorites that I wrote. I literally wrote this my senior year in high school because I was so mad. I knew what I was gonna be, and I knew that I didn't want to go to college, and I knew that this stuff that they was teaching me didn't have nothing to do with what I wanted to learn. Like I haven't used algebra since I left.
Right. Right. Right.
So it goes, why am I here? You're teaching me x equals pi squared like I really care. And yes, paying attention can help pay my college tuition, but this isn't a necessity, or is it? Why is it that we spend so many months on the Hitler and Nazis, and only 1 month is when we speak about the kings and Alis? Cooking, web design, astrology, subjects that are commonly taught. And I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody with my thoughts. Don't speak. Keep your eyes on this worksheet, as if me communicating with my peers is committing sin. These teachers, aka school preachers, whose words hurts my ears like squeaky speakers, at times make me feel so worthless. Work less. My motive, I am not focused. Most of these lessons are irrelevant. I never used it not once in my life. And I once had a teacher tell me that my future wouldn't be bright. The only one that should be able to determine that is God, right? Why am I here? To graduate, then gravitate to the slums of the struggle, working 9 to 5, overtime shifts needing double? I now see that you can't escape the ailments of poverty, even with a degree. Senior year, so full of more.
Dope. Yeah, we'll give you those. We'll give you those. Yes,
Give me the
sir.
snaps, the snaps, the
Yes, sir. We
snaps,
gotta
the
get.
snaps.
We gotta make sure the mic picking this up because my man's a beast, man.
Appreciate you, King. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Listen, so I definitely wanna stay connected, stay close. I
And
know
that's
you
what
got a
it's
lot
about.
going
And
on.
that's exactly what it's about. It's about keeping connections. It's about connecting and staying in touch and
Definitely.
building. Like I said, a lot of rappers, not even rappers, just a lot of people is gimme, but you don't go nowhere like that. You don't succeed. You don't. It's only so far you go with a gimme mindset.
Right, 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 right. Yeah, so we'll stay connected. I
Right.
wanna see if we can maybe collab on putting together. So for us here, the Y3 podcast
Okay.
is just is under Y3 Media.
Mhm.
That's my media company. So I want to see if we can somehow I want to collab and create some
Okay.
type of marketing campaign where I want to get your shit
Mhm.
or out because what you're doing
Mhm.
is insane. You know what I mean?
Appreciate it. Yeah.
There's no reason why. There's no reason why. Fucking, I'm just now hearing of Kafar Myers. You feel me? Like, nah, we need a.
I I hear you, bro. When I'm by myself and amongst four walls, I say the same thing, but it's like, am I being too self-centered? You know what I mean? I don't, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen when it
Right.
happens. I say that thing to myself all the day, but when things happen like this, when I'm blessed and fortunate enough to come across somebody acknowledging it, I just take it as that's God in the world showing me, like, what you're doing is not unnoticed. It's not, you're not going to notice. I got some things working for you. You're doing the right thing. You're going down the right path. Here goes a token for you to see that, hey, what you're doing is being respected and acknowledged. So I guess it just comes because I like I said, when I made my first book, I thought Ellen was supposed to find me.
Right.
Like
He's
I
like, yo,
thought
what the
Ellen.
fuck? What's
Yeah,
taking
I'm
so
like, bro.
long?
Yeah, I'm like, man, how Ellen not finding me? But it's just one of them things you look at and just be like, wow, I just was blessed enough to be able to experience this, because 2, 3, 4 years ago, this was the kind of stuff that I wanted to happen, to be able for someone to find me or to talk to someone on their podcast, or to be on a billboard, or to be able to have a certain amount of streams, or people buying something that I make. So it's like, I'm grateful for what I have. You can't really receive more if you're not grateful for what's already put in your face. How can you expect to get more?
Right.
So, but like I said, I feel you, but I'm just gonna let the people say it. I'm just gonna let people that come to me say that. I'm not gonna say it. I appreciate you having me on the platform. I appreciate you even wanting me on that.
I appreciate you coming on and dropping all the little nuggets, dude. I told you I'm about to get off this podcast and go run 10 miles, bro. For real. I'm gonna run 10 miles. I'm not even trying to make a joke out of it. I'm gonna go run, man. This got me feeling like I need to wake up tomorrow and take my son to go clean the park or some shit. But I'm gonna do something. You know what I
mean? I'm happy, and that's what it's about. It's like I said, that's what it's about. Just helping people discovering, talents or things about themselves that was once held latent. So that's what it's really about. Like I said, it's bigger than music, but music is the key to open a lot.
Right. So we'll have you on for another episode for sure. We'll definitely
appreciate it.
And hopefully, the next episode, is gonna be in person, whether I gotta come down there or you're up here. But the next episode we'll link up. Before we throw down the next episode, it'll definitely be in person.
Right.
That being said, bro, I really appreciate you coming on.
100%. Appreciate you, King.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. That being said, thank you guys for watching.
100%. Thank y'all. Everybody, just make sure they go to selfprivilege.com.
Yeah. Matter of fact, my bad. Yeah. I did you a complete disservice, bro. A complete disservice. This guy right here is a fucking beast. We're gonna drop all. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna drop all your links in this video.
Okay.
In the description. All your links will be there to your website, to your Instagram, Facebook, to your iTunes link, whatever. I don't know if you have a link tree or something like that. It might make.
I do have a link tree. I do. So, I could get that to you.
Word. So we'll put that up. If anyone wants to follow you on Instagram, you can just give us your handles.
Kafar_Myers.
Okay, Kafar Myers. We'll put that there too. Everything will be there.
Sure.
This guy's a beast. Stay up tuned with this dude. I know we will.
Appreciate
you, my brother.
All right, love.
Can I live and keep it completely honest? But is it really hard for these people to keep a promise? Problem is, too many people ain't been true to theyself, faking who they not, just something just to prove to theyself. I lost trust in all my friends.